Today on the Tiger Basketball Report, we'll preview the Tigers game on the road against the Hofstra Pride. Get ready, fans. The Tiger Basketball Report starts now.
For an athlete, there's nothing scarier than a torn ACL.
Athletes trust us with their care and their careers because we're a recognized leader in sports medicine.
Get back to your active life sooner with MedStar Sports Medicine.
Wise Market's ice cream plant is based in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, and is locally owned and operated. We've been making our ice cream for nearly 50 years. We create roughly 70 flavors of ice cream right now. We use local ingredients, especially our cream, which is from our milk plant. The cream is what gives our ice cream a rich and creamy texture. Now, together with our customers, we've created a product called Peanut Butter Indulgence, which will be coming out this summer. It's a peanut butter ice cream with sea salt caramel swirl, chocolate-covered pretzel. How can you go wrong with that? Personally, I love our ice cream. If you come to our house at any given time, you'll find at least 5 packets of ice cream in our freezer. Our kids grew up eating Wise quality ice cream, and now we get to treat our grandchildren to it. It's been a pleasure for me to be tasting ice cream for over 40 years for Wise Markets, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Hello and welcome inside the Towson Sports Network studios for today's episode of the Tiger Basketball Report. I'm your host, Spiro Morekas. After picking up 2 wins at home, the Tigers are back on the road this week, and they start off with a game up in Hempstead, New York against the Pride of Hofstra. As always, I'm joined by the head coach of the Tigers, Pat Skerry. And Coach, when you look at the Pride from this year, it is completely different than last year's team. No Wanye Green. They have, except for Gustis and Bernardi, this is basically a new basketball team you're going to be facing this week.
Yeah, they're talented offensively, though, like they've been. I mean, Joe Mahalik does a great job up there. First of all, Gustis leads the country in rebounding, and Bernardi is such a threat and puts such pressure on your defense because of his ability to shoot the ball. So we've got our hands full in trying to stop them. They've quickly, they'll replace some guys. They get the kid Elijah Pemberton, I think, is the best freshman prospect in our conference. Maybe as good a prospect there is in our conference. 6'6", really shoots the basketball. Great looking stroke. They added the kid Powers at the point guard, a transfer from Hampton, very good. And then the kid Justin Wright Foreman was kind of a highly regarded recruit out of high school, played behind some guys. This kid might be the toughest guy to handle one-on-one off the dribble. So they're going to test our defense, shooting threes, transition, and then we're expecting a lot of different types of zones from them, which always can give you trouble. So they're good. I just watched 2 games. They should have won at Wilmington. They should have won at Charleston. Enough said, you know what I mean? So we know we're going to have to play a very good basketball game up there.
As you mentioned, Joe Mahalik, his team's always known for, even when he was at Niagara, for scoring a lot of points. They're averaging 78 points a game. So,
a lot.
Yeah. So this is is this a game where you don't want to get into a shooting match with them? Or is it one where you say, hey, maybe we can match up with them offensively?
Well, I think obviously we need to get up and down the floor. We need to get on the backboards because they get the leading rebound in the country. We need to get to the foul line. I don't know about just a straight-out shooting match because they might do that a little bit better than us. I think our execution has to be good again, especially against their zone. And then our defensive execution has to be really good because if not, they've got 5 or 6 guys that'll make you pay. They're in every game. I mean, they lose a buzzer beater to William Mary. You know what I mean? It's such a fine line. We've been through it already. It's such a fine line in this conference between wins and losses. Like I said, they could have won at Wilmington on Saturday, and that's no easy feat.
So this team, you mentioned Gustis leads the country in rebounding, so you're familiar with him. You're familiar with Bernardi. Wright Foreman played a little bit, I guess, last year, not a whole lot. How difficult is it when you're playing a conference foe and they have, the new guys that you mentioned that they have to mix in, and how much more scouting do you have to do than you would against a team like maybe Northeastern where you know most of the guys?
Yeah, I think both of them, there's a lot of preparation. I think the strength of the conference is, a lot of teams play different ways. There's excellent coaching, and, so you've got to be prepared for things you're going to see differently, whether it's from a Northeastern or a Hofstra. And the thing that always impresses me with this league is there's a lot of ways to win, and a lot of guys do it differently. And it's a big adjustment week to week. And I think, first of all, it's getting guys to understand personnel. What are a guy's strength? That's always, and carrying that over to the heat of the moment. That's something I talk to our staff about a lot, because telling isn't always teaching. If we can't get that across, and the guy's a left-hand drive, and we're giving up left-hand drives, then we failed as teachers to get that message across. Do we get the video, through walkthrough, through the whiteboard? Or how do we get it? And that's always our biggest thing. How do we get our guys to understand personnel, and then hopefully in our defense, which is basically the same, but how do we take away a couple things we think that they're really good at?
Gustis, almost 13 rebounds a game, not quite double digits. They have 4 players that score in double digits. He's right below that at about 9 a game. What is it about him that makes him such a tremendous rebounder, besides the fact that he's really tall?
Well, he reminds you of the guy I was watching yesterday with my youngest son, The Incredibles. He's like Mr. Incredible. I mean, he's the size of he literally gobbles up every rebound. He's got meat hooks for hands. He's built like a chisel block of granite. He's nasty. He's got great feet. And he's got instincts. Think about this. Roughly, I think 4,500 Division I players in the country, and this guy's the best rebounder. It's he's just hell of a basketball player. And like I said, they got depth. They have 5 other guys who can score double figures, and then, I think that they're so creative with their guards. Always just good guards. There's New York City guys, and then you get this guy who just pulls it off the glass and throws it out there. They're a difficult team to stop.
For you guys, and most teams don't have someone as big as Gustis is. How do you get him from getting those rebounds?
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge. We've got a team rebound. We've got a gang rebound. Guard's got to go down and rebound it. We got to try to put a body on him. Nothing. Once again, we're talking about it, but we've got to execute it. All
right. The Tigers and the Pride will tip off at 7 o'clock. I'll have the call on CBS Sports Radio 1300 and TowsonTigers.com starting at 6:45. Coach, thanks and good luck. And before we go, and I got to put on the glasses now because those are starting to go. Since you're heading to Long Island, I thought I would pull up a quote from Long Island's favorite son, Billy Joel. If you're not doing what you love, you're wasting your time.
Wow, the piano man. Love that guy.
All right. For head coach Pat Skerry, I'm Spiro Morekas. Thanks for joining us, and as always, go Tigers.